Patient demand for orthopedics is surging, but right now, clinics are getting squeezed by a reality they cannot easily control. There simply aren't enough people to do the work. Your clinical team trained to support patients, yet on any given Tuesday, they are trapped behind the front desk. They are spending hours chasing down scheduling requests and insurance approvals, instead of providing clinical care. The data shows exactly where this squeeze is heading. The U.S. is facing a projected shortage of more than 5,000 orthopedic surgeons by 2025. When surgeons are in short supply, the ones who remain take on more patients and perform more procedures. Every additional surgery multiplies the downstream paperwork for the remaining support staff. You end up trapped in an unsustainable loop. Your highest paid, highly trained clinical staff are forced to cannibalize their schedules to manage low-value administrative friction. If you want to find the single largest drain on your team's time, look directly at insurance prior authorizations for procedures like joint replacements. This chart shows the sheer volume of the problem. An orthopedics clinic averages 43 prior authorization requests per physician every single week. Processing that stack drains 12 hours of physician and staff time out of every single week. And here is the truly frustrating part. More than 90% of those time-consuming submissions are ultimately approved by the payer anyway. The impact hits your patients directly. This purely administrative process adds 4 to 6 weeks of wait time before crucial surgeries can actually be performed. Practices are pouring thousands of dollars and hours of staff time into an approval process that is almost guaranteed to pass, while actively delaying necessary care for zero clinical benefit. The default reaction to this bottleneck is to hire traditional, local administrative staff. But the math on that strategy is starting to break down. A financial waterfall chart starts with a base salary of $35,000 a year for an in-house administrative coordinator. Adding the hidden overhead, benefits, payroll taxes, training, equipment, and turnover costs, a single in-house administrative seat actually costs roughly $60,800 every single year. That doesn't even count the unquantifiable costs. When front office roles sit vacant, your clinical staff have to abandon their patients to answer phones and track down referrals. Relying on the local hire, train, and replace cycle is a broken financial input model. It guarantees operational instability and constant retraining. The smartest practices are abandoning the volatile local hiring market entirely. Instead, they are shifting to dedicated virtual medical assistants. Here is how the mechanics work. Staffingly provides specialists who work directly inside your practice's existing EHR system, operating during standard U.S. business hours. This side-by-side comparison shows the shift. While an in-house seat costs $60,800, a dedicated virtual assistant costs exactly $21,600 annually. That is a direct savings of $39,200 per position, representing a 64% reduction in overhead. These virtual teams handle the exact high-friction tasks dragging your clinic down. They execute prior authorizations, track imaging referrals, and manage patient follow-ups. Because these teams arrive pre-trained on healthcare workflows, a practice can typically go live in 48 to 72 hours. You radically reduce your overhead while securing specialized, uninterrupted focus on your paperwork, and you completely insulate your practice from local labor shortages. This outsourced model pushes efficiency beyond simple human labor by deeply integrating AI technology into the daily workflow. The system uses document intelligence to automatically read and categorize incoming orthopedics paperwork and imaging requests the moment they arrive. By organizing the data instantly, the automation drastically cuts down the manual review time your team needs before a prior authorization can even be submitted. It also actively prevents mistakes. The system learns from historical payer denial patterns and establishes automatic guardrails that block flawed claims before they are sent. Practice owners get full visibility through real-time analytics dashboards. You see live task completion rates and the exact status of every authorization. By combining dedicated virtual staff with AI automation, you turn chaotic, undocumented clinic tasks into a standardized, error-resistant production line. Achieving these results requires a clear strategic choice. You must accept a specific operational trade-off. You must relinquish the comfort of having a physical body sitting in your front office to handle these specific administrative tasks. This quadrant chart maps administrative tasks based on required effort versus required physical presence. Prior authorizations are high effort but require zero physical presence. By moving them off-site, you eliminate turnover friction, require zero extra office space, and guarantee continuous coverage. The virtual model also removes the direct supervisory burden from your local manager. It includes dedicated team leaders and process managers who oversee the remote work. And it provides immediate cultural relief. Your on-site clinical staff no longer have to absorb massive abandoned workloads when a front desk employee quits. Trading physical in-office presence for dedicated digital specialization is the necessary evolutionary step for practices currently suffocating under the administrative bottleneck. So, how do you know if it is time to make this shift? There is a definitive evaluation threshold. If your practice is losing more than 8 hours of clinical staff time every single week to delegable administrative work, action is required right now. Ignoring the problem means accepting a nearly $40,000 loss per position per year, continually bleeding from your bottom line. Staffingly is an optimized, low-risk solution to stop that bleed. It integrates without disruption, requires no long-term contracts, and charges zero complex EHR integration fees. Initiate a 2-week risk-free pilot to test the virtual workflow within your actual systems and see the results for yourself. The administrative burden is a mathematical problem you cannot solve locally, but you can strategically outsource it to ensure your practice's long-term operational survival.